Hi everyone. We are here today at our offices in Greenwich, Connecticut. We are part of the Metalios group. I'm Jennifer Thomas. Mrs.
Max Bach.
And I'm Suzette Krause.
And the three of us are here today because we have one thing in common. Well, we have a lot of things in common, but one major thing in common is that we're all engaged. And we thought this would be a really fun segment to get some questions in from our viewers and our clients, because these potential questions of, soon to be married, engaged couples, who we work with a lot, we see the same questions over and over again. And so since we are all engaged ourselves and are going through the process, we thought it would be fun to help you guys figure out some major questions that come up along the way if you are engaged or about to be engaged, and how that relates to the home buying process.
Right. And some of you may be divorced and re-engaged.
That would be me and Suzette. Going on number 2.
And then we have
Number
our
one.
first timer. So
I was just about to say, you guys are we're engaged. I'm like, well, I don't have a ring here.
Nope. You will soon.
So we have a couple of different perspectives on the whole process and what to expect.
A question that always comes up is, do we buy a house before we get married, or do we buy one after marriage? And honestly, it really depends.
Yeah.
It depends on, each individual couple and what their goals are and what their timing is. But for the most part, there's just a couple of things to consider. And one of them is, what's your buying power? So if you are a couple that both make good incomes and you want to combine those incomes to get a better mortgage loan amount, then you'd want to wait until after marriage, because that increases your buying power. However, if one of your partners has bad credit or lots of debt,
Right.
and they're going to kill your buying power, you may want to consider just going in as a single application.
I think that another thing that would be interesting is what if both of you own a home or own an apartment or whatever? Who, how do you
who gets to sell and who what. So, that was actually my personal experience, because I'm engaged to be married. This is both of our second marriages, and we both own homes. And for me, it was a little bit more simpler because between the two of us, we have 5 children, and the home I owned did not fit 7 people. So it was an easy decision for me to sell my house. But that can be a huge roadblock, because, who wants to give up their own house?
Yeah.
So,
Right.
what do we do if, me and my fiance are going out to look at houses and both sets of our parents want to come along? Have you guys ever encountered that?
Oh, too often. When you have just the clients going to see the house, and then when the parents come, and then they have their input into what they like and what they don't like.
Yep.
So a lot of the time, you could be in love with the house, you could love it, and then the parents come and then they're like, oh
They
yeah.
squash their dreams.
Exactly.
No, I think for the young people, they're so excited. It's their first home together, and it should be a time of excitement and happiness and joy. But then the parents come through their dream home and see things from a different perspective, point out things that the buyers may not have noticed, that with experience, having been there, they wanted to make sure that they kind of considered everything before making the biggest purchase of their lives.
I just recently had clients who, they're getting married, I think, next year, and they were buying their first home together. Luckily for them, they just did the whole home search, they picked out the house, and the last step of the way, the parents actually saw the house after we had the contract signed and we were going to the closing. So it's kind of almost
yeah.
So it's kind of,
that.
and I was thinking, this is probably how I'm gonna do it. I don't want neither one of our parents to see the house that we're gonna buy. Just contract,
Absolutely.
going to the closing.
Yeah.
You guys like it, you don't like it.
What if my soon-to-be husband wants to move into a brand new house, but I don't mind a fixer-upper? So how do we navigate that as agents, where one party wants brand spanking new, wants to just move in, put their toothbrush down,
Yeah.
and live, whereas the other one would, like to do some work to
But
it.
in a way, though, it really opens up opportunities. Like, so the fixer-upper is going to be at a whole different price point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, the party that wants to just hang their toothbrush may reconsider
Yeah.
if they're getting a great house in a great neighborhood
For
which
a
is-
great deal.
for a great deal, and it makes their partner happy to be able to put their touch on it.
But I also think it's like one of those things where you have to kind of gauge it by who it is, because some people could get like overwhelmed and stressed out with the idea of even
Yeah.
having to
Yes.
do work. Like I've had like same clients who they're getting married next year, go into a house and it was a fixer up, and they were like almost taken back, like wait, like. Because beforehand they're like,
Right.
oh, we're okay with like doing
Yeah.
a little bit of work, and then they walk in, they're like, okay, we can't do this.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, it's almost like you have to sit down and kind of think about it, whether you would be willing, or your partner is willing to take on doing that
Absolutely.
extra bit of work.
And I think that's where we come in too,
Yeah.
as their realtors, to kind of guide them in the process and educate
Of course.
our clients, right? To say, hey, listen, with your buying power with a brand new home, this is the neighborhood you're looking at.
Yeah.
This is the square footage you're looking at. But maybe your buying power will be more because you'll get a better deal with a
Right.
fixer-upper and all those things. We currently are engaged, but we don't have enough money for a down payment. Can we take a gift from our parents to pay for the down payment?
It could get complicated.
Yes, but
That again is just something that should really be, squared away with a lender, because that can get a little sticky.
But then it's also like, depending on which parents are giving the gift, it's like, are they giving it to give to the couple, or are they giving it to give to like their daughter or son?
Right.
And it's like,
How if I had a client that came to me with that question, I would say to have a conversation with the parents and say, is it really a gift? Is it a gift that means you're gifting it to them and the parents aren't going to see that money back? Or is it a loan?
Right.
And to have whatever that decision is be put in writing,
Yeah.
so that, God forbid, that marriage ends, everyone is protected and everyone is on the same page. Anyways, well,
this has been fun.
I know, this has been fun. So Max, when is your wedding date?
October 5th, so it's like coming up in like less than pretty much a month.
That's right. And mine's September 28th, so the countdown is on.
Yeah.
And Suzette, we're still waiting for a date on you, right?
Yep, he's still on his trial period.
So yes, this has been so fun. Thanks for tuning in with the Metalios Group in Greenwich, Connecticut, and we'll see you guys soon.
All right. Good luck.